Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. It's episode 341. I'm recording this week's show in my hotel room in Las Vegas as I'm attending Google Cloud Next 24. It's an annual event where the tech titan gets to talk about its platforms like Google Cloud, which runs countless businesses, of course. And this year, it was very much about Gemini AI and how it's enhancing the tools that many of us use, like Gmail, to help you get more done in less time. Fun event, and I'll play an interview this hour recorded here at Next 24. But you know what sucks? I hurt my foot somehow, which is not good for a convention with all the walking you need to do. And it's so bad that I can barely put my shoe on. And so I have to miss the Kings of Leon concert going on right now at Allegiant Stadium. And to rub salt into the wound, I can actually hear them through my hotel window because I'm staying pretty close to that, you know, just to add insult to injury. But back to the show, along with that interview with Google, we're also going to play coming up first. In fact, if you have a dog, we're going to hear all about the SpotOn collar, which is both a wireless fence and a tracking tool for dog owners. We'll talk with the company about how it works, how much it costs, and how it's different than other solutions. Also on the show, a new toothbrush called Y-Brush that claims it can clean your mouth in as little as 10 seconds, just as good, if not better, than a traditional toothbrush. And finally, a new way to fight back against water damage in your home. It's called syndii. On an all-new Tech It Out, powered by Intel Core 14th Gen mobile processors, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off this new show with our first interview. Perhaps it's no surprise coming from a technologist, but I truly believe technology can enhance anything, and that includes protecting man's best friend and woman's best friend, of course. Well, you've probably heard of virtual dog fences and tracking systems in case your furry friend goes missing, and we're going to hear about one solution now called SpotOn Fence. It's been about 4 years since we've last had them on the program. Joining us is Sung Vivathana. He's Vice President of Engineering at SpotOn. Nice to chat with you again, Sung.
Thank you for the introduction, Mark. Thank you. Great to chat with you as well.
I looked back in my notes and it was February of 2020. So before the world all went to you know what. Is that crazy when you think about it? It was like a month before the world shut down.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing.
So I know today we're also going to learn about something called SpotOn Gives. But first, please tell us about SpotOn. What is it exactly?
Well, SpotOn is a new revolutionary wireless containment system for dogs. It works with an app you can download from the App Store or the Play Store, and it's a bunch of technology in a collar. It has a GPS subsystem. It has a cellular subsystem, what we like to call IoT or Internet of Things. And it has Bluetooth. Those are some of the key components. Obviously, the Bluetooth talks to the phone app. The cellular communicates data over the wireless networks, and the GPS obviously gives you the location of your dog, as well as gives you the capability to build a fence.
All right. So at its core, if I may paraphrase, this SpotOn Fence is a dog collar that serves sort of two main purposes. One is to set up a virtual fence so that if the dog approaches, and I'll ask you to clarify, it will notify the dog as well, perhaps as the owner, that they're getting close to that boundary. And then secondly, if they breach that boundary, then you can also track your pet by using the app.
That is correct, Mark. And just to elaborate a little bit further, once you receive the product, you download the app and you can read all the great information that our app provides, as well as an owner's guide. Really easy to set up. And you're correct. Once your dog is trained and a fence is built, as the dog approaches the boundary, they get a series of alert tones. The first one is called an alert tone. The second one, a warning tone. And the third, if they continue to chase after that animal, they get a feedback correction, static correction, we like to call it. And that most often helps prevent the dog from going any further. If your dog does continue to go beyond that fence line, then you'll receive a notification on your app, and you'll be able to actually track your dog on your phone and be able to go track your dog down. So that's the great benefit of having that connectivity is you'll be able to go find your dog and safely bring your dog back home.
I'm sure you're reluctant to use the phrase shock collar, but it does give that haptic feedback to the dog. So along with the tone, the idea is that you want to train your dog to avoid that invisible boundary with the tones at first, but it does give that vibration, maybe a little bit more than that, to the dog. Is that fair?
Yes, it actually gives both, Mark. It does also give that vibration as well as that correction that you mentioned.
Right. And I've heard this with other wireless fences or smart collars as well. So how would you say SpotOn differs from your competition?
So we set out to really address the challenges of the buried wire fences, the physical fences, and the traditional kind of smart collars. What we want to do was be able to have the same accuracy as a physical fence or a buried wire fence. So that's what our goal was. So it solves that issue. And it solves the issue of having multiple fences or multiple properties that you could actually now take your dog with you wherever you go. So it's highly portable, unlike that physical fence or that buried wire fence. So that's the problem we wanted to solve. And we did this with SpotOn. Regarding the accuracy, right, the whole method of this is to keep your dog contained in a particular boundary that you set. If we can make that fence line as accurate as possible, then it really does replace that physical fence. And so we actually had an independent lab test our collar versus a leading competitor. The lab was called Spirant, and they showed through testing that our system is 7 times more accurate than the other brands. And that's a level of precision that we really wanted and is crucial for ensuring the safety of our dogs.
We're chatting with Sung Vivathana. He is VP of Engineering at SpotOn. The product is SpotOn Fence and perhaps a service as well, which we'll get to, especially if your dog leaves that predetermined boundary, that invisible fence. We will talk pricing in a moment, Sung, but let's hear about SpotOn Gives. Tell us a bit about it.
So we've been selling this product for the past 5 years, and we wanted to celebrate it and in a meaningful way. And what better way as a leader in the pet tech industry is to give back to the community. And these communities help support the animals in need and their well-being. So we were encouraging nonprofits that care deeply about animals and their welfare to apply for these grants that we're going to award at $50,000 each, totaling $250,000 to support their work. Because we feel it's very, very important, and it's a great way to give back to the community. And so we encourage these nonprofits to apply. The deadline is May 3rd for anybody that qualifies to enter the grant program.
Okay. And how do our listeners enter this SpotOn Gives initiative?
Applicants can enter by going to our website, SpotOnFence.com, as well as visit our Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn pages for more information.
All right. The website is SpotOnFence.com, or you can hit them up on their socials for sure. And Sung, why are you giving away money to these animal welfare nonprofits?
Well, as you can tell, Mark, we're highly passionate about animals and their well-being. Just a little anecdote. We have a Slack channel. We use Slack to communicate within the company. We have this dedicated Slack channel where we share adorable pictures of our pets, other animals. It sets the mood for our culture. We love dogs, obviously, and our office is very dog friendly. We at least have one or two dogs in every day. That's at our core. And we love giving back and supporting the community and any programs that care about animal welfare. It's our passion, but it's also our company mission. So that's why we're committed to donating a portion of our profits to this important cause.
Awesome. And then finally, how much does SpotOn cost? And are there sort of any weight or size requirements of the dogs to wear them?
The cost is $999, and there are some limitations. We have on our website where you go purchase a collar information of neck sizes and weights of dogs that our collar works on. It's very easy to read, and it ranges from small dogs to large dogs. So it's a wide variety of breeds and dog sizes that we cover.
Okay. And then is there a monthly or annual subscription that's required as well?
So at SpotOn, we believe in transparency and simplicity. Our pricing structure is pretty straightforward. It's $9.99 for the fence solution, and that's all you need. We also provide additional tracking features through one of 3 optional, and I stress optional subscriptions because they're not really needed, that you could also find on our website.
So if your dog breaches the invisible fence and you open the SpotOn app in order to find him or her using tracking through the collar, if you did not yet subscribe to those services that help you, can you at that point, or is it too late?
No, Mark, it's never too late. You could subscribe at any point in time if you choose to do so.
Okay.
Containment function works without it, but if you choose to have that peace of mind, you could activate it at any point in time.
So SpotOnFence.com. Thanks for chatting with me again, Sung. Let's not make it another 4 years. And good luck with the SpotOn Gives initiative as well. Very generous of you.
Thank you very much, Mark. I enjoyed it. And again, thank you for having us.
Hey, Tech It Out is powered by the brand new Intel Core 14th Gen mobile processors, billed as the world's fastest mobile processors. Supported by many computer manufacturers, Intel's fastest gaming mobile processor delivers incredible performance with clock speeds up to 5.8 gigahertz, so you can game, stream, record, and share smoothly as these processors handle background tasks quickly and invisibly with its up to 24 cores and 32 threads for incredible performance. And new for select 14th gen processors, Intel Application Optimizer. It's a tool that intelligently determines app resources, giving you an added boost for gaming performance, for example, as it'll prioritize that task for you. More info on Intel Core 14th gen mobile processors is at intel.com. When we return on Tech It Out, we head over to Google Cloud next to chat about AI. Stick with us, we'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. All right, so here at Google Cloud Next in Las Vegas, sitting with Laura Mae Martin. She is Executive Productivity Advisor at Google, and we're going to learn what's new with Workspace, which is, of course, a collection of apps you know and love, like Gmail and Docs and Sheets, Slides, and Google Vids, and how AI is enhancing all of those tools. First of all, welcome to the program, Laura. Good to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so why don't we start at a high level and talk about what Gen AI is, generative AI.
I've heard it described as if you were to Google something on the internet or look up something on the internet and use Google, and the first 10 results were scanned for you, organized, and consolidated into the very best answer for output. That's a good way of describing what generative AI can do for you. And so it's taking all the tasks that you have to do and shrinking that down to give you more time to use your time in a better way.
Yeah, and Gemini was recently unveiled, and it's free to use, the core version, the basic version of it. And so with that in mind, Workspace has been popular for years, but now it's enhanced with Google Gemini. Can you tell us how?
So, like you said, there's a standalone version, which you can think of it almost as something you're chatting with to get those answers that take way less time than if you were to do all that research yourself. But it also is ingrained right within the product. So think I'm writing an email. I want to tell my boss that I'm taking time on vacation next week. I want to start from scratch and I don't want to write the first draft. So how can within Gmail, AI can do it for me?
All right, so let's use that as an example. You don't know how to draft an email, so you need a little bit of help, right? A lot of us have been there. So within Gmail, you'll see like a little bubble or something that lets you click and then type in a prompt?
Yeah, so right within the compose window, anytime you see this star, it looks almost like a diamond star, that's your indication that you're interacting with AI, with our AI product. Within Gmail, it's a little pencil with that star above it, so it's right in the compose window, and you simply click on that and give it a prompt. So you tell it exactly what I told you. I'm going out on vacation next week. I need to tell my boss and tell him which dates, and can you start this draft for me? And the great part is you can then iterate from there. So it learns, it knows that I'm a little more casual. I use a lot of exclamation points and emoticons. It does that now more often. Maybe you're more formal. You can say, please formalize this. Please make it shorter. Please expand on it. And so all of those things are available.
Yeah, love it. And then let's say a student is planning on creating a presentation for their classmates and they want to open slides and use it. You can ask Gemini to create images or drop in images for you of an object, right?
So again, if you were to go to Google and search for stock images that you want to use for your class presentation, this is basically doing that for you and creating for you. So you can get really prescriptive. You can say, I'm looking for a mountainous background with someone sipping coffee because I want that relaxation feel. And so you're telling it what to do, and it's not only finding images, it's creating them and easily inserting that and text into your presentation.
I was going to ask you if it's finding stock images that match your description or if it's generating it. Yeah.
Generative AI. It's
amazing.
Generating them.
So cool. Another example is you've got some dinner guests coming over. One's vegan, one's vegetarian. What are the best meals you can make? Or you're planning a 5th birthday party for your daughter. That's where you'll use perhaps the Gemini. It's an app, or google.com.
Yes, gemini.google.com. It's honestly crazy you asked that because I have a daughter. I'm planning her birthday party and she has food allergies. So literally can't believe you asked that. So yes, it's just, again, it's that place to start. So saying I'm looking for local allergen-friendly bakeries in my area that can make cakes in a week. Again, it's scanning all of their website data, coming up with reviews and, oh, what do they offer? So I'm not even going to their website and I'm getting that information about what types of cakes, cupcakes, things like that. One thing I really like, let's say you don't really know where to start. So you're starting this birthday party plan and you think, what should I even ask Gemini? Ask Gemini what to ask Gemini. It seems, kind of crazy to think that way, but you're actually prompting, what should I prompt? And that's one of the best ways to get started if you're just like, I don't know how to use this tool, but let me look at my to-do list. Here's what I have to get done. Let me ask Gemini what it can do to help with that item.
And because Gemini is owned by Google and that's the same company behind YouTube and so many other services that we use, does it leverage that data? And perhaps that's like a competitive advantage over other Gen AI platforms?
Yeah, so you can extend to your platform. So let's say YouTube, you can actually type into the Gemini at YouTube, can you please summarize this video for me, which is one of my favorite features. So let's say you see a video and you're like, gosh, it's 40 minutes. I just don't have that time. I want to see what it really covers before I dive in. You can say at YouTube, summarize this video for me, give me the top 3 takeaways and whatever you're wondering about it. And then again, do you want to engage with it from there?
What a time saver. So it'll literally scrub through a video and give you a summary of what it is. And I know we talked about this before we recorded this chat, that it also works with podcasts that are on YouTube as well. If you want a summary of the key points through Google Gemini, that's very impressive.
And it's not only a summary, the great thing is that you can continue to engage with it. So you shouldn't think of it as a one-time thing. So if I ask for a summary and then it gives me 3 key things that were discussed, I can actually ask it again, keep prompting and say, well, about the first thing that was discussed, what was the main takeaway from that? Or what did the podcast host react about that? And so you don't want to think of it as one and done. It's really something that you can keep pushing and it'll never get annoyed with you because it's a machine.
Unlike my partner. Yeah. Before we wrap up, and I know it's more for businesses right now, but there's also Google Vids. Can you tell us what that is?
So we discussed the image generation. So if you think about that on a video level, so now not only show me a picture of a beautiful mountain with a waterfall, now show me a video of a beautiful mountain with a waterfall and a bird is floating by. And so you can just imagine for school projects, for anything creative, marketing, all the use cases for that.
For your own website.
Exactly. And so the great part about Google Vids is it's another Workspace product. And so if you love Google Docs and sharing and permissions and collaborative and the saving and all of that, Google Vids is right within that suite. And so it works the same way as all those products you love.
Awesome, Laura. And then finally, where could our listeners go for more on Workspace?
That would be workspace.google.com.
Very easy to remember. Thank you so much for your time, Laura. Have a great rest of your next 24.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
A new kind of toothbrush that only takes 10 seconds for a deep clean. We'll tell you all about Y-Brush when we return.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Back in January of 2019, more than 5 years ago, I was at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and there was a lot of buzz surrounding a product called Y-Brush, billed as a faster and smarter electronic toothbrush that can simultaneously clean your teeth in just 10 seconds, no less. And so I had the founder and CEO on the show at the time, and he's joining us once again to give us a Y-Brush 101 and an update on where the company is at. We've got Benjamin Cohen on the line all the way from France. Welcome back to the show, Benjamin. Good to chat with you.
Hey, Mark. Good to talk with you.
So why don't we start right from the top? What is Y-Brush? And for our listeners, it's spelled the letter Y dash brush.
Exactly. So YBrush is a sonic toothbrush which is able to brush your teeth simultaneously in 10 seconds instead of the 2 minutes recommended by the dentist. In fact, it's like a sonic toothbrush, like an electric toothbrush. It's composed with an handle which is able to generate sonic vibrations, and with a brush head, which is very flexible, with a Y-shaped brush head, which is very flexible, which is lined with 35,000 of nylon bristles, able to brush all the teeth, all the sides of all your teeth at once.
Okay, so again, I just want make sure my listeners get this, that instead of the recommended 2 minutes with a manual or electric toothbrush that we may have in our bathrooms today, YBrush is in the shape of a Y, but you put it in your mouth and it'll clean all your teeth, top, bottoms, and sides, all at the same time, so that you're getting a comparable clean in 10 seconds? Or is it as good? Can you talk to us about how well it works?
It's as good as a 2 minute toothbrushing. And the fact is, usually people don't brush their teeth for 2 minutes. The average brushing is more around 1 minute. So in fact, we do at least the same, but usually it's more effective as a standard toothbrushing.
Okay, because we're not doing the recommended 2 minutes, is what you're saying, most of us.
It depends, of course, but some people do the 2 minutes, but the main part of the population do an average of 1 minute.
And have you had dentists agree? I don't think you're a dentist yourself, Benjamin. Have you done studies that prove it's as effective as a manual or electric toothbrush that we use today?
So we have worked with many dentists. On my part, I have a background as a researcher. I did some studies in Harvard in the US, even if I was based in France.
Oh, cool.
We did many clinical studies, and the main part of the studies shows that YBrush has exactly the same effectiveness as a good 2-minute manual toothbrushing. And we just unveiled a few days ago a study which showed that with YBrush, you get a 2 times more efficient brushing as the leading sonic toothbrush.
Oh, wow. And you did call it a sonic brush. So you press a button, I presume, and you put it in your mouth and it does its thing?
When it's your mouth, you only have to do 2 very simple gestures. You have to chew like a chewing gum and to move from left to right to brush the back teeth. If you have wisdom teeth, you have back teeth, it's important to do this gesture. And in fact, when you get the product, I got to scan, and then you get an interactive video which explains you step by step how to use the product. If you have any questions, just click on the button, and then you get customer service.
We are chatting with Benjamin Cohen. He is founder and CEO of YBrush, Y-Brush, and this is a electric toothbrush that is not with the classic handle and bristles at the top that you're probably used to. It is in the shape of a Y. You put it in your mouth, and the company claims that within 10 seconds, you're going to get as good as, if not a better clean than the alternative methods. So, Benji, obviously we met 5 years ago. What have you been working on? Is this patent pending? Have you been improving it? Give us an update from the last time that we talked.
Yeah, so we have many patents. Since 5 years ago, we launched new generation of the technology. So no, because in 2019 when we chat, we just finished in 2018 a Kickstarter.
Right.
Start to ship the product at the beginning of 2020. So now we have the 3rd generation of the product on the market. Since in the last months, we mainly focus in the US market. So now if you are in the US, you can buy on Amazon.com. You can buy on our website, which is y-brush.co, directly in the US from our US inventory. And we have additional product. We just launched a few weeks ago a new product, which is a Duo brush, DUO brush, which is a sonic toothbrush, which is able to work with a Y-shaped brush and with traditional brush head. And with that, you can, for example, share your toothbrush, share the handle of your toothbrush with someone who uses the traditional brush head, and you can still use the Y brush heads.
Oh, I see, because you're just changing the heads.
Yeah, you can switch the head very easily. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Before we talk pricing, Benjamin, does YBrush need to be replaced, or any of those parts like the heads need to be replaced over time?
No, you only have to replace the head every 4 months. The battery is built in, so it's inside, and you only have to charge for 2 hours, and you get 3 months of charge, but that's it.
How much does it cost in the US?
So in the US, it depends where you buy the product. It's on Amazon. It starts at $79, and in our website, we have plans starting at $29.
Oh, big difference. Okay.
We have one model for the kids too, because we spoke mainly for the adults toothbrush, but we have one for the kids, because usually parents try to find a solution for the toothbrushing problems.
Okay. And that's the one that's 29 because it's smaller.
No, the one at 29 is a plan where you buy the product at 29, but you get quarterly refills with a 1-year membership. If you don't want to get a 1-year membership, it starts with a dual brush at $79.
Before we wrap up, have you ever heard from some of the big toothbrush makers like Oral-B and Philips? Have you heard from them over the last 5 years?
Yes, of course. I think we met at the CES, right? Perhaps we discussed.
Yeah, we met 5 years ago at CES.
It was directly on the booth. So usually for this kind of show, we get many people from Colgate, from Oral-B, Philips, etc. So we used to discuss with them, yeah.
Okay.
But for now, they're still working on traditional brush heads.
Fair enough. All right. And so the best website, again, is y-brush.co. And that's the letter y-brush.co. That's the US website. Benjamin Cohen, great to chat with you. Glad to hear that you're still going strong and got a new generation and now this new product as well. I wish you continued success. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Coming up next on Tech It Out, we're going to learn all about syndii, a new way to combat water damage in your home. Be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Before we learn all about syndii, a new way to combat water damage in your home, I wanted to first give a shout out to Visa. We cover cybersecurity a lot on this program and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age. Even if you're not super tech savvy, one part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, as much as $10 billion. That's billion with a B, all to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. One of the biggest issues that can occur in your home is water damage. It could affect wood, where beams can rot. Untreated water damage can also ruin your electrical systems, destroy your ceilings and walls, and of course cause mold. Fun, right? Well, we're going to hear about a water sensor system called syndii that may be able to help. Joining us on the line to chat is Elliott Atkins, co-founder and CEO of a company called Opelio Labs. They are the folks behind syndii. Thanks for your time, Elliott. Good to chat with you.
Thank you, Mark. It's great to be here.
Now, before we talk about your solution, syndii, which is spelled Syndii, I did touch on the problem of water damage in my introduction. This is likely the biggest culprit when it comes to damage in your home, right? Not fire, it's now water.
You are absolutely right. Water is the biggest problem for property owners, whether it's a burst or leaky pipe or water coming in through a door, a window, or the roof. Not only does it ruin walls and floors, but it can result in the unhealthy mold, like you mentioned, and the loss of precious keepsakes. Mm-hmm. People that we talk to know that water is an issue, but before syndii was there wasn't anything that was easy to set up and that just worked. When there's no power, the sump pumps, furnaces, and water line heaters stop working, which may result in frozen pipes and other issues. If the property owner isn't at their home or possibly their cottage, they'd like to know what's going on so they can at least reduce or eliminate any potential damage.
And is the same true when it comes to home insurance claims? From what I understand, and my dad was in insurance before he retired, that water is the biggest cause for these claims, these home insurance claims.
Mark, every day in the United States, 14,000 people experience some form of water damage. About 1 in 60 insured homes makes a claim for water or freezing damage each year. Almost half of all insurance claims are water-related, and the cost is over $15 billion per year. The vast majority of these claims could actually be reduced or eliminated with a product such as syndii. The numbers are scary, but the damage, the costs, the inconvenience are even scarier, as is the prospect of being uninsurable after a claim. Damage costs can range from a few thousand to hundreds of thousands of dollars per incident. And that doesn't include the emotional toll, the loss of precious items, disruption to daily life, and dealing with your insurance company. Last winter, a friend of mine had his furnace fail at his cottage. He'd suspended his Wi-Fi over the winter and found a mess when he arrived for a family weekend, just a few days after he'd left it the weekend before. He got in and everything was frozen. Shower valves were destroyed, his water treatment equipment, his toilets, all destroyed, as well as ceilings and walls. He didn't want to make an insurance claim because of the fear of a premium increase. So he repaired the damage himself to the tune of about $7,000 and many hours of hard work. His family time turned into work time.
So with that in mind, Elliott, let's hear about syndii. Again, SYNDII. What is it?
So syndii is a patented platform that alerts property owners to water leaks, power outages, and temperature extremes before they can cause catastrophic damage. syndii differs from other products in that it doesn't require Wi-Fi to protect and continues to alert even when the power goes out. syndii is always connected and constantly watching, providing peace of mind to property owners. This is important for cottagers or people who aren't regularly at their properties. An additional benefit is home insurance savings of up to 10%. Provided by some insurers.
So this doesn't stop the water damage from happening. It just alerts you to it immediately. These are sensors that you would place around, say, vulnerable areas of your home. And if moisture is detected, you're notified. And the key difference here is that it doesn't use Wi-Fi like most other solutions do. It uses cellular connectivity,
yes.
right? Okay, because I know there are these shut-off valves that are pricey, but they seem to work. You connect it to your water supply going into your home, and that's good for pipes. But if there's water coming in from a heavy rainfall, like you mentioned, where we both live, Elliott, we've got excessive rain today, it wouldn't help you there either. But these are sensors that you would place. So syndii is a platform that where you get a sensor or two in the box, and then you can add more.
Yes.
Is that fair?
And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But one of the things we don't want to add to it is calling in a plumber or somebody to install a hard valve into your line. That also doesn't work once the power goes out and doesn't work if Wi-Fi goes out in most situations. We are adding actually a water shutoff that will work for people who run off a non-municipal water system. So people who are drawing from a lake or a well, the sensor will initiate shutting off the water and won't be turned back on until you're able to come back and check your property. So that will be added very soon.
Cool. All right. So as it stands now, Elliott, walk us please through the process of setting it up.
It looks like just a little box. It's got a ton of technology in it and a lot of software, but it is really easy to set up. Imagine a device that your grandparent or parent could set up. You just take the syndii brain, and that's what we call the main unit, out of the box and plug it in. As you're following the installation wizard where we're asking you a little bit of information, syndii's connecting to the best available cell signal and letting our cloud service know that it's there and it's now alive.
More with Elliott Atkins about the syndii water sensing solution when we return.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Elliott Atkins. He is co-founder and CEO of a company called Opilio Labs. These are the folks behind syndii. This is a water sensing solution to help homeowners, whether it's used in your primary address or maybe you're a snowbird or an owner of a property that you rent out or Airbnb or something like that, and it will notify you immediately. How would you be notified, Elliott, if there was a problem in your home and you're not there?
An email or let you look at the dashboard. And the excellent thing about that is it can let other people know as well. So you could have a neighbor of your property or condo in Florida, or you could have a neighbor of your cottage get the alert at the same time and head over there to see what's up.
Okay, so you're at work, something's going on at home, you're immediately notified on your mobile device, and maybe some friends or family members that you approve, they're also notified, so you can act on it to minimize the damage, right? So you can get over to your place and address it. So it will work if you, say, live in, I don't know, New York, but then you winter in Florida as a snowbird, or maybe, I don't know, Phoenix. You can install them in different places and you'll be notified wherever.
And that's the great thing about our solution provider from the cell side. It is not tied to any single carrier. We have access to all the carriers through the SIM that's in our brain unit.
All right, we'll get to costs in a moment. That actually leads me to a question that we've partially answered, which is what separates syndii from other water sensors out there? So it does leverage cellular opposed to Wi-Fi. Are there any other competitive advantages?
So even the sensor is run off of a microprocessor. So we can make it software enhancements to that sensor, add functionality, extend battery life. We've been doing those things through testing. The important thing, if you're putting these things around your house, is that they're working. So we let you know the battery status. We let you know when the batteries are getting low. We let you know if somebody accidentally didn't know what that box was, shoved it up against a wall and turned it off. So you don't want something just disappearing that's supposed to be protecting your property.
And speaking of some key differences between syndii and others, Elliott, before we wrap up and talk costs, your solution also tells you about other risks, right?
It's also watching temperature. You can set high and low ranges. For the people that are using it now at their cottages that might set their furnace or their heater down to a lower level, they're setting a number in that sort of 10-degree range Celsius, which is about 40, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, where they want to be notified because that's getting, if the power to go out, that's getting close to a range that they don't have much time where their pipes might freeze. So we let you know about temperature. We update it regularly, again, if you're comparing it to other people's products.
And is there a syndii app or it's a website?
Yeah, so you
get
a text message or an email and you pick those. You can pick who gets them. And you can also just it's a web app, but you can open it and see a full display.
All right. So now, Elliott, let's talk pricing. How much does syndii cost?
One syndii brain and one water temperature sensor is $299 US or 399 Canadian dollars. Additional water temperature sensors are $79 US or $99 Canadian. The amounts are a fraction of the cost of increased insurance premiums that could result from water damage or another claim. Our required alert subscriptions are just $99 US per year or $139 Canadian per year and include cellular access anywhere in the US and Canada. We've kept our subscription costs as low as possible while still providing a high level of protection and ease of use. Don't need to worry about the best cell provider in the area or what happens if they move. We take care of all of that for you. In a lot of cases, property owners can suspend their internet coverage in the months when they're not at their vacation property and save themselves $50 to $100 per month. So just a month or two of suspension covers a whole year of syndii alerts. Syndii.com, that's SYNDII.com.
And where does the name come from, by the way?
You can imagine with all the shows you've done, it's so hard finding .coms and such. And so there's a word, syndiosis, which is bringing things together. And it was kind of bringing a number of ideas and sensors together to have one integrated platform.
Well, I like it. SYNDII.com. Elliott has been our guest, Elliott Atkins. Thanks for your time, Elliott. Great to chat with you. I wanted to give one more shout out and thank you to Intel, the title sponsor on this program. Tech It Out is powered by the brand new Intel Core 14th Gen mobile processors, billed as the world's fastest mobile processors. Supported by many computer manufacturers, Intel's fastest gaming mobile processor delivers incredible performance with clock speeds up to 5.8 gigahertz, so you can game, stream, record, and share smoothly as these processors handle background tasks quickly and invisibly with its up to 24 cores and 32 threads for incredible performance. And new for select 14th gen processors, something called Intel Application Optimizer. As the name suggests, it intelligently determines app resources, giving you an added boost for gaming performance, for example, as it'll prioritize that task for you. More info on Intel Core 14th gen mobile processors is at intel.com. Speaking of computers, don't forget to properly back up your important files on a regular basis. I only trust Western Digital and SanDisk with my data. Head over to westerndigital.com for more. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.